It's Wednesday, June 18th, 2014, and I'm Jim Sullivan with your NeoWeather.com video forecast. Here's a look at the radar satellite temperatures as of noon, and I apologize, this video is going to be a little bit late in getting out today. Right now across northern Ohio, filtered sunshine has developed, which is allowing temperatures to warm into the low to even mid-80s already, 85 at Worcester. Everywhere else is a little bit cooler. Our northeastern counties are still in the 70s, thanks to some rain-cooled air from some morning storms in that area. Everywhere is pretty much dry now. We are watching that big line of thunderstorms over Lake Michigan and northern Illinois that has already sparked some severe weather this morning. That is moving in our general direction for late afternoon and evening. Taking a look across the entire country now, the action stretches from the upper Rockies across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and eventually the mid-Atlantic. You can see there's a nice dome of very warm, humid weather across much of the central and eastern U.S., and there are disturbances sparking off thunderstorms along the northern edge of that area of warmth. That's a very typical summertime pattern. It's called the Ring of Fire. The western U.S. is a bit cooler. You can see it's very warm in the east. Temperatures already as of noon or 11 central in the upper 80s, lower 90s in a lot of cases. Coming back to Cleveland, looking at the numbers yesterday, we did 90 and 72. First time we hit 90 in Cleveland this year. Averages for today are 80 and 61. Records 96.41. We shouldn't hit the record high today. It'll be probably several degrees too cool. We saw a little bit of rain at Hopkins yesterday, although some areas saw a whole lot more last night and into this morning. We're running well below normal on the monthly precipitation, right around normal on the year. We're setting the sun at 9:04 p.m. tonight. And here's a look at how things are expected to play out through the rest of today. Temperatures rising into the mid to maybe even upper 80s this afternoon before those storms to our west move in late afternoon into the evening. They could be strong to severe when they get here. In fact, I expect some of them to be. Storms continue this evening, although hopefully things start tapering tonight after midnight with lows again only in the mid to upper 60s. All right, so taking a look at the severe weather setup for this afternoon and evening. Right now, this is a loop of the current conditions up through noon. In the color fill, we have the instability and its building. It's becoming very, very unstable across the upper Ohio Valley right now, and even nosing into parts of northern Ohio. In the lines, we have the flow aloft, and the arrows are also the flow aloft, and you can see that there's a bit of a disturbance here over Wisconsin slowly moving to the east. That's what's sparking the current squall line of storms. And you can also see here in the arrows, the yellows, oranges, reds represent stronger winds aloft. You can see that those stronger winds aloft are sort of grazing Ohio, and there's some pretty strong winds aloft associated with the squall line. So that's all going to support some severe weather this afternoon as things continue to slide to the east and east-southeast. So with that said, we've gone ahead and placed a medium risk for severe weather across our northern counties. That squall line over Lake Michigan and Illinois will likely gradually intensify or at the very least maintain itself as it moves east to east-southeast this afternoon, which takes the strongest portion of the squall line into our northern counties. Again, the wind shear, as you could sort of see on that loop I just showed you, is better across our far northern counties, which is where the medium risk is. Farther south, it's a little more uncertain. There could still definitely be severe. As you can see, the severe risk goes well south of our coverage area. So even if you're not in the medium risk, don't completely ignore this. And with that map in mind, here are the highest individual threats today. Flooding is going to be the biggest threat. A lot of areas saw at least a half-inch of rain last night into this morning. Some places, like in Portage County and Ashtabula County, saw upwards of 3 inches this morning, so any additional rainfall will lead to flooding today. Damaging winds are the second largest threat. As that squall line approaches, there could be a fair number of wind damage reports today. Large hail, some could occur, although with squall lines, it's harder to get very large hail, so that risk is sort of a tertiary threat. And then there could be a couple of weak tornadoes, especially if a really strong squall line moves in. You can sometimes get spin-ups with those, but a tornado outbreak definitely is not expected. All right, so looking ahead now at the rest of your 7 day, tomorrow could actually be mainly dry and it'll be a little bit cooler as the cold front that's been hanging around and providing these storm chances over the last couple of days moves south. The front comes back north on Friday, so we'll be warmer again with a few more storms. As we head through the weekend and into early next week, this same frontal boundary is going to meander across the area, but there's going to be no real big, strong weather makers or disturbances along that frontal boundary. So there will be small storm chances this weekend into next week, and it'll stay fairly warm and kind of humid, but no big washouts or severe weather outbreaks are expected really after today and tonight. All right, again, I'm Jim Sullivan. Thanks for watching. Check us out again tomorrow.